Mic check. How are we doing, Jesse? Mr. Jesse Segovia.
I am doing great, man.
Great like Tony the Tiger?
Great.
Is it because of the new studio or what?
Ando sucarado, güey.
That makes two of us, bro.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new studio?
Dude, I'm starting to dig it, man.
It has a pretty good feel to it.
It's a work in progress.
It's definitely a work in progress. I think every other episode we're changing it up, right?
Yeah, we don't typically stick to one scenery. We're all over the place.
Yeah, it's good.
Nada.
Yeah, we're still trying to find our sweet spot for to have a good visual especially for the final product.
Many people know your sweet spot.
If people, yeah, definitely. Too many people know that one. No, carnal, I think if people could actually be in here with our guests and see the mess we have, like, behind the scenes, they wouldn't believe it. They'd be like, what?
Dude. Or it's every musician's dream.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's usually like that, man.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's a lot of instruments.
my OCD tends to kick in.
I feel that.
No, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mero Valle podcast. One more time. As always, we have a very special guest with us tonight. We have somebody who I've been following on social media. Him and his wife. They usually make really good content. You might have heard about them or even follow them. And not only that, he's also a very gifted musician. He's a follower of Jesus Christ. And he's got a very important and cool story to share with us today. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we have Freddy Honda and Jena, his wife, in the house.
Oh.
What's up, brother?
How you doing, guys? Thank you so much for having us here, bro. It's a blast.
Hey, no problem, man. Hey, I do want to say one thing. I heard you talking a while ago behind the scenes. You were saying that whenever you're trying to do videos with producers and directors, you try to get your good side, to where
yeah, bro, all the time, because it's like...
Let me tell you one thing, brother. You look skinnier in person.
Oh, do you think so?
You look bigger in video.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me. They're like, bro, it's because te miras bien gordito in the videos. And
well, I didn't want to say gordito.
The Manjaro, bro. The Manjaro is what helps me.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. Freddy Honda, welcome to the Mero Valle podcast, man. I know there's a lot I want to talk about. Of course, we've been following you on social media, and I know a lot of our viewers are definitely going to recognize you guys. For sure. You guys have a lot of viral videos on TikTok, on social media as a couple.
Yes.
Which is something very rare. I think it's hard enough to make it, as a solo, influencer, but doing it with your partner, with your wife in this case. How has that? What has that experience been like?
First of all, it's all for the glory of God, right? In the beginning, when me and my wife started doing the funny videos, it was mostly like we just wanted to make content. I would make content before, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna include my wife. I did a video with my wife. It hit. So then from there we started making videos. And then after a while, she got bored of it. She's like, oh, babe, why do you always want me to do videos? And then I showed her how much we would make. Yeah. And then she'll be like, oh, you want to make one right now? So we started doing them. And then it all became in the beginning for self, just for ourselves, just, for our just popularity, funny and stuff. And now we created that to get followers. And because they think the stuff is funny, and then we get to share a little bit about Jesus Christ, or not push religion to your throats, but like just spread the light, be positive,
What's important to say that you have a very powerful testimony to share with everybody, and of course we're going to talk about that later on the podcast. Let's start with the beginning, man. I think everything in this podcast, it all starts with music, man. Yeah, I know definitely me and Jesse, that was our intention when we started the podcast, to give a little. Have a space for our local musicians. And of course we had to call it Mero Valle because, that's exactly who we want to have here. The people, musicians, artists from the Valley. How did music come into your world? Music
came into my world because when I started becoming a tattoo artist, I incorporated music to be able to market myself. Okay. Because it's like what's gonna set you apart from every other tattoo artist. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of tattoo artists here in the Valley. Some do black and gray, some do color, some do all of them. But what separates you? You have to become a character. You have to become somebody. Yeah. You have to make a name for yourself. Whether it be not the best tattoo artist, but somebody. So I started working on that, my persona. I started making music. Then the music hit, and even though we were doing music for the world, it was hitting. So like we just kept going at it and going at it and going at it. So I incorporate a lot of my music with my tattoos, so whenever people will come get tattoos, they'll be like, oh, what's up, bro? I want to get tattooed by this guy from the band Popular Loner. Yeah. Or like they see our videos, and we've gotten people from like Nebraska, Louisiana, Houston, Corpus, you know, and they're like, we just come over here because we see your guys' videos and we think you're funny.
Wow.
And it's like, bro, have you even seen my work? Like, no, I just want to get tattooed by you. I want to meet Freddy Honda. And to us, it's like just something so amazing, especially when my wife is included, because it's like how you said, not everybody includes their wife in a lot of things. So it's good to be able to, not for the spotlight, but at least my wife's there with me.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's Jesus, me, and my wife, bro. That's
For
all
sure.
it is.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So it starts with music and a mix of your tattoo artwork, and that's how you were kind of like promoting yourself.
Yeah, bro. And little by little, I just started getting more into music, and then I've always been a musician. Growing up, I did learn how to play drums, guitar, bass. So I've always been musically influenced. So growing up, I didn't know anything about rapping. You know what I mean? So I just started as like little flows in Spanish. And then from there, we just started making music. I started off with a band called 956. And then from there, we ended up scratching that. And then I ended up doing Popular Loner. Right. And we've done so many gigs and with Troy and the rest of the guys. And
was it like urban music, hip hop?
It was like a mixture of Linkin Park and Papa Roach.
Wow.
Like real rockish, rapish, a little bit mixture of both. You know, Suicide Boys style. Lo que estaba pegando ahorita. You know what I'm saying?
That's like the scene, like all that scene came from like the early 2000s, right? Because I remember a lot of those bands. So that's when they hit Linkin Park. Was it Limp Bizkit?
So that's my influence is like 90s, 2000s bands. And then Troy is younger, so he likes like newer Juice WRLD and newer rock bands and stuff. So we kind of mixed the new age with the older age, and that's how we created Popular Loner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this was in what year, more or less?
This was like 4 years ago.
Okay.
5 years ago that we started Popular Loner.
So 2020, give or take.
Like around there, yeah,
2021.
2021, yeah.
All right. But I imagine music was a part of your life way before that,
for
right?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, growing up, were there musicians in your home? Like
parents? No, I was the only musician. And then from there, my brother started getting into music because I started getting into music. And honestly, if it wasn't for church, I wouldn't even be a musician.
Really? That's the churches would kind of...
Yeah, Grupo Mojao, back in the day, bro, they were the ones that taught me how to play.
Really?
They became Christian, started going to the church, and then they're the ones teaching me timbales and congas, and then drums, and then I went to guitar and bass and stuff like that.
When you say Grupo Mojado, are you referring to Jose Luis Davila?
Oh, yeah.
And all those cats?
Yeah, bro.
El Chapulín.
Yeah, what's the name of what's their song?
Well, I have a bunch of them.
The most popular one, the
Piensa en mí, Tonta.
De Tonta, Piensa en mí, llora por
Caldo de Pollo.
Caldo de Pollo, all those classics, bro.
Yeah, excellent band from Matamoros, Tamaulipas. Le mandamos un saludo a toda la raza.
A todos los de Mojado.
Grupo Mojado, excellent music, man. Yeah. We're definitely huge fans. And I do remember that back in the late 90s, I think that's when they did like...
Mojado, Grupo Bagdad, all those groups. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Well, it all comes from the tropical side. I mean, especially everybody knows Rigo Tobar, who's probably the biggest influence in música tropical, and of course from Matamoros, Tamaulipas as well. So it's no surprise that a lot of good bands came out of there, man. And I do remember that they did a dedicated album, a Christian album.
Yeah, towards the end.
Yeah, and I think they've done several since, right?
Yeah. And I don't think they're not doing music anymore or nothing like that, but I haven't heard from them in a good minute. But
well, it's because they split up. I know.
They split up.
I know Jose Luis is still touring, but it's definitely a new lineup.
Yeah. I totally forgot their names because I was so young, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it was just I'm
sorry for interrupting, but how is it that you met them through the church? Like, did they have
So they started going to church. It was like a little church, bro. Like that the pastor would host in his living room, but he knew them. So he started...
From Brownsville?
From Brownsville.
Okay.
So I'm originally from Brownsville. I was born in Matamoros. I was raised in Brownsville. I went to school in Brownsville. And then till like later on, like maybe like 6 years ago, I moved over here to Edinburgh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that was your first encounter with music per se?
Yeah, growing up, bro, like in my young age.
What did you play? What instrument?
Was like I said, timbales, congas, drums, guitar, bass, a little bit of piano. Just enough to get by. A little bit of mixture of everything.
All right. So that's your musical side. Yeah. What about your artistic side as far as drawing, tattoo? I imagine that it started with drawing.
Can I be honest with you? The only reason why I even picked up tattooing is because I've always known how to draw.
Right.
And then I went to prison. And then when I got out of prison, it wasn't even for nothing like serious, bro. Like they were treating me like if I murdered somebody and all I did was like invading, arresting a motor vehicle.
Okay.
And they wouldn't even hire me in Burger King, McDonald's, nowhere, bro, nowhere.
Wow.
So it's like I've always been the type that before I always want to have money in my pocket. You know, siempre he sido así. My parents always taught me to work. So I was working like in the roofing and stuff like that. Pero, pues, you know what I mean?
Yeah. This was before going to prison.
This was before going to prison.
Okay.
Yeah. No, after I got out of prison.
Okay.
And I wouldn't get a job. So then from there, I just picked up tattooing and I started like just little by little.
Yeah.
And I would mess up a couple people in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. You know, there's a couple people out there that till this day reach out to me. They're like, hey, bro, remember me? Like, you tattooed me a long time ago. You think you can fix it? And I'll be like, yeah, bro, come through. And then I got you. You know, even then, I'm still a good guy and I'll still come through, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, bro, that's how I got into tattooing. Honestly, if it wasn't because of prison too, I wouldn't have even picked up tattooing.
Yeah, that's so you started doing it while you were in prison.
Yeah, because I've always worked at I've worked as a supervisor for call centers. Like I worked at a Performance, Converges, like all those different places. So.
All right. So how many years did you do inside?
I did like about 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, bro.
So
and that's not including like going back and forth. And
yeah.
The federal and state.
Yeah, so that gave you a lot of time inside to.
Bro.
Is this where you changed your life?
Nah,
or
honestly,
you...
no, bro. It made me even worse. So a lot of people think just because you go to prison that you're gonna change your life, and you don't. It makes you more into a savage. Imagine getting a cat and putting them in a cage and then leaving them there for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then no light, no nothing, just whatever. And then you let him out, see if he's gonna be friendly.
Of course.
You know. So I got out. Going in there, you get taught. Okay, you have to be a certain way. You have to respect. You can't say certain words. You have to automatically. If they tell you something, you have to fight. Like it's a whole different world. So coming out, you're coming out with that mentality.
Survival mode.
Yeah, and then people disrespect you out here and stuff, and you're like, oh, pues qué onda con este rollo.
Yeah.
So it was very hard to get out of that lifestyle. Even when I got with her, like we've been married 2 years already, like going to 2 years. Even when I got with her, I came in with that mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got out in 2019, so it took a long time for me to like change that lifestyle.
A scene from a movie comes to mind right now. I'm sure you've seen.
Give me your chun chun.
Well, that one too. That one, I hope that was not the case.
Is it like that in prison? Yes, it is.
No. Kind of
loves that.
And I haven't even been to prison, but yeah. No, American Me with Edward James Olmos. There's a scene where he's out of prison and he's like at a boot shop.
Yeah.
He's trying to get service from one of the attendants, and the attendant just kind of like blows him off. Doesn't even look at him, and he's like, "Hey, look at me when I'm talking to you."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And his girlfriend's like, "Hey, you don't have to talk to him like that." You know?
It's really like that.
But I think when you were mentioning that, that's kind of like the feeling that I get. Like you're so used to, hey, respeto.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't. I'm not a photo. You
So
know?
that was my attitude before going to church. That was me, bro. That was everybody used to know me back then. Even when I was in the music world, I was the guy that if you would laugh at my post, I would be outside your house.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up like that. I'll have lives. I wasn't even with her yet, and she'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'll be like, "I'm outside this guy's house," and
like, dude,
la la la
so
la,
dumb.
like all this extra stuff, bro. And like I look back at it, and it's like so stupid, you know. But it's all part of growth.
Yeah.
So
like, what is it that drove you to do that? Like, it was like
it's just anger, stupidity. Like when you I feel like when you in life, when you do things the way you want to do things, they don't come out the way you want them to. It's a disaster. And I wanted fame. I got a little bit of fame, so I wanted it. I got a little bit of respect, so I wanted it. I got a little bit of fear, so I wanted more. Mm-hmm. You know, and that was my mentality. Like, it's me over everybody, you know, and it was just such a wrong mentality to have.
Yeah, like a selfish mentality.
Yeah, bro. You always want to play yourself the victim. Pobrecito me. You know, I deserve this. Like, honestly, we don't deserve anything.
Of course. How old were you when you went in?
So I started going in when I was like around in my like 19, 20, 21, in and out, you know, just going in and out of prison. Living in Brownsville, it was so easy to get yourself into like selling drugs, selling coke, selling crack, selling weed. Yeah. I used to send weed up north to North Carolina. I did my time for that too, you know, and it's like, it's a lifestyle, bro, that you have to be watching your back.
Yeah. No peace.
No peace. And you think the money's good, bro, but once you have the money, like you're just like, okay, what do I do now? Yeah. You know?
It's like when there's a scene, and I always like to reference movies, but there's a scene where the Joker on the Joker or Batman versus Joker movie, where you know the Joker's trying to explain why he is the way he is, and there's a part where he says, "Well, I'm kind of like a dog chasing a car. Like if I caught the car, I wouldn't even know what to do with it, but I want the car. I want to get it." Yeah. So I think
he tells him, "What fun will it be?"
What's that?
He tells him, "What fun will it be?"
Yeah.
If you wouldn't chase me and if you wouldn't try to stop me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that in that ride, that's what you think you want. You think you want fame. You think you want money. You think you want these opportunities knocking at your door.
Yeah.
But bro, they'll be your downfall.
Yeah.
Like some of these things will be stress you out so much. Some of these things will make you like get out of your comfort zone. Some of these things are just gonna take over your family. Yeah. Like your mentality, like everything, bro, because you're just so stressed out trying to be the best.
Of course.
And that was me. Honestly, everything that I've always joined, I always wanted to be top dog. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like I'm going to do everything I can and try my hardest so I can be the best. Yeah. And that's not the mentality to have.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing in life.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something.
Self-goals is a good thing for a self-goal.
Yeah, but you definitely want to keep track, keep an eye on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Not let your ego elevate
it's
over.
It's good to be cocky within yourself.
Yeah.
You test yourself and your limits,
Of course.
So I don't think that's a problem. But it's like whenever you're literally out there boasting and like you're putting yourself out there and then you can't deliver.
Or you put yourself over other people.
Yeah, exactly.
In
sometimes it be your friends and your family.
Yeah. That can be really tragic.
Yeah.
So at what point does change come, or how does, in this case, how does God come into your life?
So God,
yeah, he got a wife.
Yeah, he got a wife. You want to tell him? You haven't even talked.
Well, we haven't. We just introduced you.
No, it's okay.
First of all, how long has Freddy Honda and Jena been? Freddy Honda and Jena.
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 years. Happily married. We got married last year, and it was such an amazing wedding.
Congratulations.
Yeah, super amazing. We had tattoos in our wedding.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was people tattooing, and we had it there at Rancho Guadalupe.
Okay.
It was so beautiful, bro. We were super blessed. We thought we were gonna get married and like
have a dinner.
No, something
just
like
traditional
little dinner, and
ended up with
God was like, you know what, you guys belong together, and he delivered, bro. And out of nowhere, we just got blessed with this big place and like all these decorations and amazing.
Wow.
This is how I picture it. God's like, bro, I don't know what to do with you, so here's Jena.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So the way I see it is she was praying for a long time too for somebody.
Right.
Going through her stuff, going through her problems. And I was praying also, going through my stuff and my problems. And it was like, it got to the point where we were both losing like love, like believing in love.
Yeah.
And we had known each other and we would talk on and off, but it was just as friends, until we finally got together. And I felt like it was just like the right time, the right moment. Like we both just kind of connected. And you know how it is in the movies where you kind of see the girl and you're just like, that doesn't exist, like love at first sight. I didn't love her at first sight, but it was just,
I couldn't stand him.
It was just like that. It was just like that one, like it's just something about her that you can't let go. And you see how my life is right now compared to how it used to be, bro. Like I wouldn't trade her for the world. Like
absolutely. Well, I think that's the best part of having a partner, somebody that compliments you rather than somebody. I think a lot of relationships end up bad because of that, because you want to force it.
The support's not there.
Yeah.
Or they think it's stupid or something like that, But it goes both ways, bro. Just like your partner supports you, you're supposed to support your partner and her dreams too. And
absolutely.
I promise you that once it's balanced between like in the middle, it's gonna work out.
Absolutely. I always say you can't love somebody that you don't admire.
Yeah, exactly.
And the way you guys have been talking to each other out there right now before the podcast, I can tell you guys have a lot of admiration for each other.
We fight a lot, but we love each other, and we fight, and it's always for like the stupidest, like smallest things, bro. And a lot of people I see relationships fighting like, oh, you cheated on me, or like you're going and doing this on the side or something, bro. And with us, it's always just like,
you took my truth.
I want Whataburger and you want Dairy Queen.
Burger King.
Yeah,
something
you know
else.
what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy, man. So, do you have a Christian background in your family, or is that something that you?
I actually grew up. I grew up Methodist, but Christ has always been, a big part of my life. Mm-hmm. I found him when I was lost by myself, and a lot of my brokenness had to be fixed alone. But I had him to fall back on, and he showed me a lot. And to me, prayer got me a lot. Got me my strength back. It got me my mind back, because for a little while I was really lost. But then, and then bringing Freddy in, it was really hard to get him back into church.
Bro, we would fight so much. Yeah. You're gonna come to church on Sunday.
He was resisting like a
lot.
It was like, you're living in my house, you're going to church. If not, get out.
Oh wow.
So
yeah, bro.
It was really hard.
And then I was lost in drugs Sunday. Too. So I was like heavy on drugs. Like that was my coping mechanism to deal with problems and stuff, and that ended up being an excuse. Oh, it's because you don't understand me, and I would do it, or you don't get me, and I would do it. And it all goes back to self-pity. So you have to go back to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem all goes back to yourself. You try to do things yourself, and it's not gonna work. So I thank God for every day. She little by little, aunque era forzado, but I would go to church. And then I started talking to the people from church. Even when I was joining the praise and worship team at church, I was still doing drugs. And I tell them I'm very open. I was vaping. I was like still doing drugs once in a while, and it's until that people think that you change right away as soon as you accept Christ, but it takes a long time. Like sometimes God works faster with others than with some other people, but with God, like He moves so fast with me because He knows how I am. I'm a very addictive person. You give me something and I like it, I'm gonna do it. You give me a challenge to do it, I'm very competitive. I'm gonna do it. I'm very like that. So I feel like God knows how I am, and He kind of like, look, son, you know what? Boom, I'm gonna put the emergency sign on you. And it went from why did I go through all these things, God, to thank you, God, for letting me go through these things, because now I am the person that I am, and now I can be able to be a light, or like be a vessel towards you, for you to be able to reach other people.
All right.
So that's why I'm very open, like with my. That's why a lot of people used to make fun of me. Que crackhead, que este, que el otro. I'm very open with my past, bro. And I feel like being open with your past can save somebody else.
Absolutely.
Not you saving the person, but God using you to save the person, and getting them closer, whether to be to Him or whether getting them closer from away from negativity. That's something that you can do too. Not everything revolves around God, but not everybody sees it like that. So another thing that people can see it as revolving around positive. Being positive. Hello, how you doing? Hey, I'm just checking up on you. Hey, bro, I love you. I've been seeing what you're doing. Keep going. That's very important, bro. Those are strong words. So I encourage a lot of people like do that, because you never know what someone's going through.
A kind word can go a long way.
Yeah, bro.
You just
Honestly.
never know.
A kind word can change your life.
Absolutely. I think anytime you change your life, whether it's whatever it is, whether it's start going to church or going to school, whatever you do, if it's something out of the norm, people usually they'll give you a hard time for it.
And then the Bible says, and even the Bible says that they're gonna prosecute you. They're gonna make fun of you. They're not gonna understand sometimes. And a lot of the things is a lot of very religious people is what push that, and that's what pushes people outside of church or pushes people away from Christ. But because they're just being very judgmental, or they're being like, oh, you're gonna go to hell because you're doing this and you're doing that or whatever. It's like, bro, you gotta let God just work with that person, and worry about yourself, worry about your salvation.
It's almost as like people want to go by the book. Like gotta follow all these rules, all these.
Like me, I used to think I was always right, and I used to think that I was always like a good person because I've always given money to like charities and help the homeless and do all these different things. But I can have good morals, bro, and I can be like the person that gives the most, but if I don't have Christ inside of me, none of that matters.
If He's not in your heart.
Like if you're not doing it for those reasons, like because you want to do them, it doesn't matter how many good things you do in the world, bro. Like if it's not Christ centered, it's not gonna work.
Well, most of the good that people do, I mean, nobody ever sees it.
It's the silent goods that are amazing,
that make the
and a lot of people
difference.
tell me that they judge us sometimes. They're like, you guys make money on social media and you guys don't even give nothing to the homeless, or you don't give back. I'm like, bro, you don't even know.
You don't even know.
I don't have to go and post every single time I give money to a homeless person on social media. Or like, oh, I help this organization. For what? Like God knows, we know,
There's times where we go without, so
we can give out there, and people don't know that. People think, oh, Honda, he tattoos and does videos he hasn't made. I'm like, yeah, well, we have bills, you know what I mean? And we have a family, we have 6 kids, 2 that are I currently don't have, that are with my ex-wife that I'm currently trying to get. I love very much. Big shout out to my kids, Coralina and Freddy. Right. But it's something that we've been working on, bro. Also with my kids, trying to pray that my baby mama's heart softens a little bit.
Absolutely. How do they feel about what you do? Your kids? Do they follow you on social media?
So our kids, like, they get so much attraction at school, and they're like, oh, we see your parents all the time on videos.
They're super annoyed.
And stuff like that. And before, I used to do some, like, a little hardcore funny videos, like a little bit more offensive videos. And, like, they would get in trouble in school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
In the beginning.
But they love it, bro. They love the attention, and, like, we take them to church with us too, and we teach them that it's not about the attention too. It's,
of course,
what it's all about.
There's important message behind everything you're doing, and I think that's the essence of it. The way I hear you talk, and even off cameras, when you seem to be very passionate. Both of you seem to be very passionate.
Thanks so much.
First of all, about Christ and your faith, but behind everything you do, we were talking about tattoos, you were talking about music, and you talk with so much passion about it.
It's because God saved me, bro, and it wouldn't be right if I wouldn't like let people know that, and sometimes tell me like, oh, you're always talking about Christ, but it's like I would always talk about drugs before, or I would always talk about like los chismes, que este vato está haciendo esto y este vato lo otro y que fake streams y que este que el otro. I can be in that fake world, but for what? That's not helping me grow.
You're not bringing anything positive to the world with that. Whereas now with what you do, I know you mentioned on social media that you're planning to visit prisons as well.
Yeah, bro.
To go spread the word. You want to talk a little bit about that?
God has opened some doors, and next year we're gonna start going to the prisons and to the prisons where I was in. Okay. To go talk to people out there and let them know that, hey, like, not so much to push religion on them because they're already going through a lot, but to be able to show them that, hey, bro, like, it's not, once you get out, it's a whole different life out here, and there are baby steps to go back to church. There are baby steps to go, into positive things. You don't have to just, there's the world. No, you figure it out, because that's basically what they do. They let you out in a prison, and then they're like, here's your bag of little things that you had there. Figure it out.
Yeah.
If you have parole, figure out how to get there, and figure out how you're going to pay your parole. Figure out how you're going to get a job. If you don't have any support, if you don't have any family, if you don't have anything, bro, what are you going to go back to? Drugs. Yeah. What are you going to go back to? The streets. What are you going to go back to? Selling stuff. Yeah. And a lot of people say, well, there's a lot of programs. There's not an excuse. There's not. There's not. Coming from an ex-felon, there is no programs out there.
And if they're out there, they don't make them available to you.
No,
they just don't help you.
Yeah. They just don't help you. Or they're just like whatever,
It's almost as if they want you to come back.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different.
But that makes money for them.
Yeah, that's a whole different podcast right there.
Bro.
I know. There's a very interesting documentary. It was made by Netflix, but it's already on YouTube. You can watch it for free. It's called The 13th Amendment.
Okay.
You definitely want to watch that. It covers extensive information about the prison system in the United States. And I think one of the first quotes when it starts is it starts with saying, in the United States, where there's the most freedom in the world, we hold the most people prison.
Yeah, in Texas. Yeah, Texas has the most prisons and the most incarcerated.
Yeah,
there is if I'm not mistaken, there is 52 TDCJ prisons.
Yeah,
and that's just TDCJ. You're not including feds. You're not including counties. All that stuff. Don't get me wrong, bro. Some people need to go to prison, and I'm just being honest.
No doubt.
Some people just need to go to prison so they can get like a slap of reality. I needed it because I thought everything was so easy, And but there's a lot of people in there, bro, that they don't belong in there. Yeah. It's just you meet
they're swept up by the system.
Yeah, that's all it is, bro. So many talent in there, so many lost talent, and like musicians, pastors, and they're like, oh, pues todos hacen bien religiosos in there. And some of them do, bro. Some of them get religious because they want protection, and stuff like that. But I didn't know. But back to your question, I didn't find God there, bro. I didn't find God in prison. It made me worse, honestly. I ended up finding God like maybe like 2 years ago again. Okay. Like really knowing God.
Yeah.
Cause I would always tell people, I believe in God. I can ask anybody, yo, you believe in God? Yeah, I believe in God. But do you follow him?
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Do you really know him? And when I say, do you follow him? I'm not saying you got to carry your Bible everywhere you go. You got to like, just be like, oh, like that's not what being a Christian is. That's not what having a relationship is. It's by being an example and a fruit. It's like if I tell you, hey, do better, bro, don't give up on your dreams. Do this and do this and do that and don't do drugs and all that. But then I'm doing it. What example am I giving you? And that's what I feel a lot of people nowadays do. They use Christ as like something to be able to promote themselves through social media or through something. You know what I mean? Because everybody loves God. You post a verse about God, you're gonna get a whole bunch of likes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So why are you really posting it?
There's been discussions about that where they're picking it up as a trend.
Yeah, like a trend.
Yeah, following Jesus is becoming trendy, and that's not what it should be.
Yeah, it's not what it's all about. Yeah. It's a good thing. In a way, it's a good thing because it's like, okay, people are diving into it.
At least they have a little seed,
but just
right.
Because a pastor tells you something doesn't mean that it's right. You have to dive into the word yourself. I feel like that's why you have to talk to God to yourself and dive into the word yourself, so that way you can be able to understand it. Because you can preach to me and tell me something. Hey, don't do this. Don't drink alcohol. right? But he doesn't have a problem with alcohol. Now, I'm not saying drink alcohol, but if you're an alcoholic, then don't go back and fall into the thing that's gonna destroy you. You know what I mean? Or if it's something that might be able to destroy you, don't go back to it. That's when people tell me, pues yo me tomo una vironga vez en cuando. Okay, but that vez en cuando, keep doing it. Eventually, it'll be your destruction, or eventually you're gonna let go of it. The more you spend time with God, it's like you practice it. The more you practice something, the more you get better at it, right? So the more you spend time with your friends that are just like not doing nothing with their life, that's what's gonna end up happening. Because there was a time where like all my friends would do was smoke weed, chill, and do music, and that's all I would do too. Chill out with them, smoke weed, do music. You know, it got boring after a while. I was like, but what am I doing with my life? Yeah. You know? So once I started getting into the word, once I started hanging out with the right friends, with my family, with my wife, understanding her, talking to her, you start getting that callo on you. You know what I'm saying? And you start learning. So it's people always think, oh, you're going to change right away like this. And nah.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in process. Yeah. That's why you can't judge, bro. You were once there.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people all the time, like, ¿por qué lo voy a juzgar? I was once like that, just like him. Yeah. You know, so how hypocrite would I be?
And you're still changing every day.
Every day. I'm not holier than nobody, bro. Like, it's cool that people see me as like an example or stuff like that, but really, bro, like I'm just here to proclaim Christ. You know, little by little, I'm changing just like you.
Awesome. No, pues mis respetos for all that, man, and for all the progress you've made, and especially the positive energy you've brought not only into your life, but of course your wife
for sure.
and everybody that surrounds it. So how did you eventually convince him to go to church? Like, did you just threaten him? Like, I'm gonna kick you out?
I threatened him until he
gave in.
Yeah.
Wow.
You gotta mold him, you know.
Yeah. Do you remember the moment when you saw in him, you know, that he accepted that he needed to make that change?
I was battling with Freddy with drugs. In the beginning, a lot of people didn't know that I was dealing with those things. But after a while, it was just too much for me. And I don't know, one day I just said, you know what, Freddy, you want to do it? Go. Just do it. I'm not going to stop you anymore. But don't ever use me as your excuse. Don't ever use your kids as an excuse, my kids as an excuse. You're the problem, not them, not Alyssa, which is the ex-wife, not you, because you don't want to get out of it. And to be honest, that day I honestly don't remember half the stuff that I said, but I'm more than sure it was the Holy Spirit in me.
It was channeling through you,
bro. Like I was, se me quitó hasta lo high. ¿Me entiendes? I was just like, wow, like
he was
where's
gone.
this coming from?
I would leave work. I would leave work because he wouldn't answer my phone, and I already knew he was messed up in the restroom, and I was gonna go home and find him all, just messed up. And it was a daily, every other day kind of thing. And it was something that I was dealing with by myself because I didn't want to tell my parents, I didn't want to tell my family, I didn't, and so I guess it was just, I would pray to God every day, like, please, God, I love this man so much. Like, please just show him that he is worth it, And then one day I just said, you know what, God, I love him, but I just can't. Like, you need to help me or I'm done.
But Jena, you saw potential in him.
From
like you knew that there was good in him.
The very beginning. I've known there's good in him since. Even when I didn't like him, because I didn't like him in the beginning, I knew he was a good person. So I just didn't like him because he was arrogant. So, but yeah, I honestly feel like it, I was just the Holy Spirit's vessel.
And then we got baptized. And we all got baptized together as a family. All of us got baptized. All of us just kept going. It started from, I have to go to church because I have to play music, to I'm going to go to church because I praise God. It's crazy. And everybody tells me all the time, like, God's not real, bro. Prove it to me. I'm like, bro, right here, bro. Yeah. Like, I was lost, like, to the extended point. Like, I would try to overdose so I can kill myself. Like that, bro. Like, and God no me dejaba morirme. And I would do, like, almost $2,000 in drugs, bro. Trying to kill myself. Nada. God had a bigger purpose, bigger plans for me. So I told people all the time. That's why I get sad when people tell me, bro, I'm lost in this and I can't get out. I'm like, brother, there's so much out there for you. You know what I mean? There's so much help for you out there. And sometimes they'll call me 2, 3, 4 in the morning. The ones that ask me for money, I don't really respond to, being honest. But I do have people that just want to talk, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all they want is love. They don't get that at home. Some people don't have that at home. Kids, husbands, wives. I've had girls, and she's always been the type to like. She's never been the jealous type to be like, hey, ¿por qué te está marcando esa girl? Like, everything's always been super respectful, bro. And whenever it's a girl, I'll talk to her a little bit and I'll be like, but look, I think you need more like girly advice. Let me pass you to my wife. And my wife has spoken to so many people too, bro. And I see her talking as well. And it makes me sad, bro. Like, I start crying because it's like, wow, that's so beautiful, you know, that I could see my wife doing that, like doing God's work, you know, or God using her.
Yeah.
To where, like, before everybody would tell me all the time, like, the wife, bro, esa tumba un vato. Like, she's known for fighting, UFC fighter. And everywhere we would go, she'll be like, babe, you see that girl over there? I beat her up. I'll be like, and there was this one girl, too, at a restaurant, too. Like, I beat her up. And we'll give her free drinks and stuff like that.
He's like, why is she being
yeah,
so
why
nice
is she bringing
to
you free drinks? Like, I beat her up. I got her from the hair. And I was like, this girl, you know what I'm saying? But from going to that, and it was just that, bro. And I was super happy because I never had like, oh, your girl was a hoe or like none of that. Like none of that stuff. It was always por peleonera, you know? Yeah. And I'm just so happy how God has changed her, you know, from going to a peleonera and fighting with people now to fighting anxiety, suicide, you know, with other people, you know?
So you have your history too as well, as far as, you know, were you a violent person growing up?
I was a very violent person.
Wow.
I wasn't a violent person growing up.
You became?
I became a violent person. I went through abuse in a relationship in high school, and then just after that, I was just an ugly person, broken, hurt. You know, I went into depression, anxiety. I had my share of drug use. I had my share of being an alcoholic. I was a really bad alcoholic. Freddy, as a friend, you know, he would call me at 2 a.m. I passed by your house. You're not there. Where are you? I was all drunk, and he'd find me somehow, some way. He'd
always take her home.
Drag me home out of the bars and just, you know. But
so before y'all were even boyfriend and girlfriend, you already had like some type of connection.
I was married at the time, bro.
Okay.
But she was my friend, you know, and she was like one of my only girlfriends. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I would talk to her about stuff about the kids, about my relationship problems. And we weren't like messing around or nothing like that, bro. For a long time, we would go out everywhere and people thought we were messing around and we weren't, you know. But eventually got to that point, right? But it took a very long time. And then when I got my divorce, you know, it was just right, bro. Like we were just, like, God had me there, like, in reserve for her. And like
what they call soulmates.
Yeah. And she had just gotten out of an abusive relationship, you know, and like it was just, she had a traumatic experience with that one. So it, like, I feel like I show up in the picture like maybe like a month later. You know what I mean? So it's like everything was going so good in between us. Yeah, but I did have my drug use, you know, and it affected us a lot, but we learned from that. And the only way that I could have gotten out of that was through Jesus, like, honestly, like, to church, not even just through my wife alone. You know, I had to be through God.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people think, nah, I don't have nobody. I need someone to save me. It's like, bro, like, he's right there. All you got to do is pray. And a lot of people, they're real self-centered. They're like, oh, es que no quiero orar. Es que me da pena. I'm like, and then Dios te va a dar pena a ti whenever you're up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to be real, bro. You already tried everything. I tell people all the time, look, you tried drugs. You tried alcohol. You tried women. You tried going to discos. You try a new series. You try new music.
It's not working.
You know, it's not working. Why don't you try Jesus? Because it's Jesus. Because la iglesia no me quiere quitar dinero. Go to you got to go to the church that's for you, bro. Not every church is for you. You know, unfortunately, there are our Bible studies that we do at our tattoo shop. We get a lot of people that get they go to church and then they just keep looking at me because I have tattoos, or they keep looking at me weird, or they keep condemning me, and it's like, bro, you're not supposed to do that. You know, how are you going to do that? Yeah. Like, only religious people do that. Pharisees did that, and Pharisees were the ones that crucified Jesus. Yeah. So it's like, why would I do that too? You know, why condemn? Why be like them? You know, Jesus told us to be like them. All Jesus told us was love your neighbor. You know, love people. That's all I want you to do. Love people.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ate with the sinners and.
Yeah, bro. And right now I see people that I used to get in a fight with before, and I talk to them, and I've made so many amends with a lot of people. I've made amends with people to where I stay from a distance, because you don't have to be everybody's friend, bro. You can still support somebody or like be cool with somebody from a distance. Because if you feel that person is gonna be a downfall for you, or if it's gonna just not be good for your life, then it's always good to, you know, not be a hater and not be like, oh, I don't talk to that guy, but you can love from a distance.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned to do. I've learned to love people instead of hate people, and I've gotten so much more peace in me.
Yeah. But the truth is, you're not going to reach everybody.
You're not.
It's not, you know, in order for positive to exist, negative has to exist.
Yeah.
That's just, you know,
Exactly.
it's the law of the universe, if you want to call it that. So I think that was very smart, you know, to just, like you say, not hate your enemies or not provoke them in any way.
It went, and it's the smallest changes, bro. I used to have this friend that used to call me every morning just to cheese me out. And just to tell me, hey, bro, look, this guy and this guy. You start off your morning like that, it's going to end up bad, bro. Every morning I used to start off that, you know, con corajes. And, I saw on Facebook this guy's talking about me, and I'm there with my wife. And, ¿qué voy a ganar? No voy a ganar nada. Yeah. So I start off my mornings talking to Christ. And then if I see something on social media, like, because I'm still, because of what we do, we're in social media, right? I just take it off of my newsfeed. You know, anything that's not healthy for me, I take it off of my newsfeed, you know, or I remove people as friends, and I tell them, bro, I'm sorry, it's because you're posting a whole bunch of stuff that I don't like. So what do they say? If you don't like what I post, then take me out. Yeah. So take me out. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then they get mad, bro. And then they would message me and they're like, ¿Por qué me quitaste? Es que I want to round with you because you think you're better than me. I'm like, bro, I just don't like what you post. So I don't, it doesn't mean that I want to fight you or nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? People get offended right away. And
but if you want to, my wife.
but my wife gets down, man.
She can get down right away.
Yeah.
I think I kind of do the same thing. I don't unfriend people, but I definitely unfollow a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, not that I'm afraid that they're gonna go, you know, que me van a cantar, pero like you say, sometimes it's just a lot of negative energy. You know, anything that's political or that they're trying to, you know, bash another group of people.
What do you need it for?
I'm not with that.
And a lot of people think that being around the drama and being around all that stuff is, it's marketing and it's very beneficial. No, it's not. Yeah. Nobody wants to work with. Some people want to work with professional people. Yeah. They don't want to work with people that keep getting arrested or like, you know, like on their lives getting drunk and high and like todo locos and stuff.
Well, it's because at the end of the day, you know, you want to do things that fulfill you, que te sientas lleno de lo que estás haciendo.
Yeah.
I know that for sure. If me and Jesse did other type of content, you know, where we're maybe doing, you know, I don't know, dirty jokes or whatever. You know, maybe we would get more
people
ratings.
Like that.
Yeah.
People like that for some reason. They're like the
it's
nastiest,
so
ugliest stuff, bro. And then like we post some of our stuff and it's not even nasty or anything. And you have all these people, bro. All these people in the comments are so ugly and stuff. But it's something that we get we're used to already.
Yeah.
Like they've called us meth heads and crack heads and like all this extra stuff.
At one point, I got really
but it's because
sick
of what they see.
Yeah, exactly.
They think that they're crackheads or whatever, but they don't realize what you're really like.
Yeah, bro. And it's only the people that know us like in person or like that knows our life that they're like, oh, okay, like they're church people and stuff. You know what I mean? But it's just we do a lot of content that, you know, couples go through every day. You know?
Well, it's surprising to me that, you know, now that you're mentioning that, because normally one of the things that I really like that you do is when you do your pictures with your
the signs,
and you always have like a positive message to share.
Because a lot of people it's very curious, like, what is he holding? What does it say? Yeah. You know, so it's certain little things that you got to do to be able to catch people's attention. Also.
Yeah, but I like that because you could easily, you know, put something
negative,
nasty or whatever, but you choose to do something positive, and that I really respect and admire that. That's awesome, man. And
it's a lot harder than people think. Yeah. Like to have like positive messages.
Yeah, bro, because everybody gets offended by everything.
Really?
So you have to also, even if you're being good, you have to really watch what you post. Like
how you word it or what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like me, I couldn't post anything about Charlie Kirk. One, because I do believe that Charlie Kirk was a vessel from God, but I feel like a lot of people turned him into an idol. People started buying the shirts. Había candles de Charlie Kirk. Y que Charlie Kirk estás en los cielos. Like it's an idol. And they made such a big deal over Charlie Kirk, the Super Bowl, I'm going to take control and all this extra stuff. I feel like the Christians are trying to be like a big bully now. Yeah. And I feel like that's what sparked it, was the whole Charlie Kirk thing. So I don't really post a lot of that stuff or like political things. Like I really don't care.
Was he amazing speaker of God? And,
yes, he
and
was.
A follower? Yes, but
I'm just not into politics. And one, I can't vote. You know, I went to prison. So if you've been to prison, you can't vote. So I really don't. Yeah, you can't, bro.
Even as an American citizen?
Even as an American citizen.
You lose your right to vote.
You lose your right to vote.
You lose your right to vote and to have a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I knew about the weapon, but not about the...
Yeah, you can't vote.
Not about the voting.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, you don't care. Like, I don't see I don't see it right, everything that's been going on with the whole ICE raids and stuff like that. But I don't mention stuff like that because you don't ever know. I'm biased, bro. Like, I've only go into social media and I post positive stuff, and I'm not going to create all these debates with anybody, because God didn't make us to debate with people. He made us to like be able to
walk with each other and stuff.
In like,
his life.
If you feel that your religion is right, or if you feel your thoughts are right, then all I'm gonna do is pray about it. I'm gonna be like, no, that's mal. I'm gonna be like, all right, bro. Well, I'm gonna pray about it, and I'm gonna see your point of view and see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna turn you down from it. What makes my beliefs real than yours? Yeah, exactly.
Well, in all my time on social media, I've never seen two people arguing, and I've never seen one of them go, "Oh, you know what? You're right, bro. Yeah, let me change my ways." I've never seen that, and it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know,
well, you know what? I've done it. I've done it. Not because what you're saying it, but I've done it, and it's like people when you're walking in Christ, bro. I feel like people you're like this beacon. And people are just looking at you.
You're magnified.
And you're like, okay, I want to see at one point this guy's going to mess up. I want to see this guy so I can prove to everybody that Christianity is fake.
They want you to fall.
And they really do watch.
And they go and they make the nastiest comments, bro. And I'm like, ¿Sabes qué, bro? I don't agree with you, but you know what? God bless you. And I start treating him with positive. And I tell him, you're right, bro. You know what? You are right. I'm going to pray about it. And I'm going to see what God tells me. And then you have all these different people. You know what, bro? I always look at every single comments, and I saw that you comment them with love, and that really shows a lot. Because everybody else, if you go back, pues, who are you telling that? Or they start arguing, or they tell them una maldición o algo, ¿me entiendes? Yeah, a mí se me salen a veces las maldiciones. Like, I'm not perfect, you know. Sometimes I'll drop the F-bomb. You know, I'm something that I'm working on, right? Because I've cussed all my life. Yeah. Pero yeah, bro.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're human, bro.
Yeah, we're human. You know what I'm saying? You can't, just because you failed in something doesn't mean that, you're going to keep failing. It's just, the beautiful thing is that you realize it and you keep trying. You know?
And you change.
And it might take a week, 2 weeks, a year, 2 years, 5 years, but you're going to do it, bro.
Absolutely.
And God's going to love you because you're trying.
Absolutely. So what was that experience like having 50 people there?
Bro, I remember the first day we had 35. And then some lady that went donated us some chairs.
Because we didn't have enough seats.
We didn't have enough seats. And then we were like looking at each other, and I was like, God, how am I going to do it right? We don't have any seats for next time. And some lady told her, hey, I have some, we had just bought in some chairs for a party. We were going to return them, but you guys can have them. And they gave us.
Just like that?
Yeah,
just like that.
30 chairs.
30
wow.
30 of those foldable chairs, bro. Yeah. And then we had those chairs, and we would set everything up, and people would come, bro, and we would just trip out because it was like all types of people. You know, you never knew what you were. It was like a box of chocolates, bro. You didn't know what you were gonna get. We had people that were there because they were having problems with their husband cheating. We had people there that were currently in suicide. We had people that were satanic. We had like all types of people, bro. Yeah. And like we were like, what do we do? You know, like, okay, I made this Bible study now. God, like, what do you want me to do? And it's share your testimony. Yeah. And I shared, and then from there we get special guest speakers, and they talk about their testimony. And people, bro, like, we've, not us through God, but people started going to church. Yeah. And that was our mission. Our mission was just to plant seeds. My mission is not to transform you, or like, it's just to plant a little seed, and that's it, bro. Just to know that there's someone that loves you. Yeah. You know, there's someone out there that wants better for you, you know, and it all starts with that seed, bro. And he might water it, she might water it, like a whole bunch of other people might water it. You'll start hearing it, and it gets to the point where you're like, wow, this all started last month, or this all started 5 months ago with that little seed, and now look where I'm at now. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's an amazing story, bro, and you get to see these stories develop right in front of you. You know, like, wow,
it's amazing.
Yeah, bro.
Just to give the audience a little, bring them up to date. What we're talking about. We're talking about these are reunions that you have at your tattoo shop, right?
I don't want to call them Bible studies because we don't really go based on, okay, this week we're going to go based on John and Luke and all that. Yeah. It's basically gatherings. Imagine AA, but willing to go, you know, and not, okay, well, when you go to AA classes afterwards, you're like, oh, bro, you know where to score and you know where to do this and all that. People are just there because of the court. Yeah. And it's so beautiful to see people willingly go to it and then for them to tell you, I never thought I would be in something like this.
We've had people who were supposed to go to AA and they chose to come to our Bible studies instead. Wow. And, you know, there's one person who we started our Bible studies in June. She came the second session and she hadn't stopped coming since. And just 2 weeks ago, she walked into church and she was like, you know, she asked if she could join us at church. And I said, yeah, of course. And she came and she talked to the pastor. And me not knowing, truly not knowing, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, yeah, she's from, you know, our Bible studies. And he's like, wow, that's amazing. She's like, yeah, this is the first time I've ever been in a church. And I was like, what? You know, like I brought her to the church. We brought her to the church. We showed her who God was, you know, and in the beginning, she didn't even know how to read a Bible.
Yeah. She's one of those people that like, oh, you're pushing religion on me.
Don't.
Alert, you know, alert. And there's a lot of people like that because of bad experiences, you know, and it's just, God's been such a blessing, bro, like with everybody there, you know, and it's baby steps. Yeah. I tell people all the time, baby steps. I've had friends of mine that go there drunk, some high or whatever, but they're like, bro, but I'd rather be here than be out there, you know, and they're like,
and we'd much rather have them here than out there.
And little by little, bro, God's working with them. And everybody that goes into our tattoo shop, bro, is like, bro, I love the vibe. Like, I love the vibe. And
just today, somebody came in and she's like, you know, you go into a tattoo shop and it's like, you know, you're uncomfortable. You don't know what to expect or you don't know who's touching you. She's like, and you come in here and it's just like, you feel safe, you know. And she's like, that's something. Yeah, you know she's like, she literally said, it's like, I'm safe. Like, you feel good. And to me, that's a big thing.
That's the vibe they get being around you guys.
Bro. And she always says that all the time. It's like, people might not go to a church, but they'll go to a tattoo shop. In the beginning. You know, you can start it off like that. And that's what we tell our pastors. Because our pastors from our church are super involved with us, bro. In the beginning, we were like, oh, it's because it's a tattoo shop. What do you think the pastors are going to say? Day one, bro, the pastors were there praying for our shop and everything.
Our pastors go to our Bible studies.
Yeah, they go to our Bible studies, you know, and a lot of the people from church go to our Bible studies. And it's just super cool, bro.
Well, for somebody from the streets, especially if they have addiction problems, you know, going to an actual church or an institution per se, it can be intimidating. You know, they're gonna be like, well, first of all, I'm not dressed for this, or they're gonna look at me weird. Whereas you say,
and that's why when you go to a tattoo shop,
it's gonna judge you there.
Exactly. I like the word you used outside when we were on the other side of the building. You said, "Come as you are," and that's I mean that's I think any place that has that. You know, that way of inviting you in. I mean, it's welcoming.
Bro, Jesus didn't turn down nobody. Jesus told everybody, come as you are. Oh, you have leprosy. Hazte pa allá. No, come as you are. Oh, you're a tax collector. No, hazte pa allá. No, come as you are. And everybody, bro, and God, just with God showing Jesus, by Jesus showing love, bro, people followed.
You know, and that's exactly how it is.
And that's how it is, bro. Love.
So what exactly happens at the Bible study? Like y'all like.
So we get together. I'll put on some music and we'll jam for a little bit. Some people like to sing. Sometimes when special guests come, they'll play the guitar. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about like what's going on, like.
We'll open a Bible.
Problems, you know, we'll open up a Bible and how this relates to what you're going through.
Not always,
know?
but
we're not trying to not represent God or not represent the Bible because that's not, we do that 100%. But the way you present it to people means a lot, says a lot. And a lot of people will tell you, nah, uno que es verdadero de Cristo, he won't care. He's going to go and tell you how it is. And bro, yes, you're supposed to say it how it is, but you're supposed to know how to talk to people. You can't just walk up to somebody and be like, oh, estás pisteando, or like the way you're living is wrong. Who are you to tell me that?
Yeah. It's going to feel very judgmental.
Exactly.
In that sense.
Exactly. Yeah. And a lot of people like to hear changes from somebody that looks like them. I have tattoos all over my face, you know, like everywhere, bro. Like, I don't have the best reputation growing up or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So it's like God uses the worst people to be able to represent his glory, you know, so that way he can see how much power he has.
Amen.
Absolutely. Are you familiar with the book Outcry in the Barrio?
Yeah.
I think his name is...
I'm actually going to start going with to their facilities.
Right.
Yeah, on Tuesdays.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading up on that book back when we were in...
Freddy from Alfredo from San Antonio.
Yeah, when we were in, I think it was junior high. It was the first time I ever got a hold of that book.
Yeah.
And I remember reading part of it, and it was a very inspiring story, very similar to what we're talking about. Somebody who was lost in drugs and just, you know, changed his life and opened a home for so many people that were going through the same thing. And I think that's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, man.
Would you like to write a book someday?
I would have to be like through the voice thing because I'm more of a voice person, through voice memos and you know. Thank God for ChatGPT.
Like an audiobook, you mean?
Like an audiobook.
Okay.
But yeah, bro, it's I'm more of a hands-on. Like we had mentioned about me going to prisons and stuff and going and talking to the inmates. Yeah. So I'm more of a not wing it type of person, but like I just let God take control of me. You know what I mean? When I'm talking. And I'm always in the right state of mind whenever I'm about to talk about something religious or like something about God, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's one thing that God's led me to is going and preaching like what I'm going to do with these inmates because I know exactly what they feel because I've been there. So I feel like these inmates are going to listen to somebody that's already been there and God has changed and, you know, is doing better than somebody like in a suit that went to Bible college and like, oh my God, I wonder if they're going to like have like a lockdown or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, let there be a lockdown when I'm in there. I'm ready.
They're not going to respect them the same way.
Bro.
Like,
exactly. And it's all about respect.
They're not going to take anything
serious. And you don't
serious.
go to prison. You don't go to prison and everybody's disrespectful to you or nothing. There's a lot of respect in there. You know what I mean? But there's just few people, you know? There's always the little bad bunch.
Yeah.
But other than that, bro, it's an honor to be able to do something like that, bro.
What was the process like to get that approved? Did
you
go through?
You have to go through this online application, and then you have to be released out of prison for a certain amount of time and not have warrants and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I did have a warrant that I took care of this year.
But that's why we're waiting till next year.
It followed me till 2019, bro. I was so convicted by it. It was just criminal. What was it?
Mischief.
Criminal mischief. I just hit some guy's car with my hand, you know, and I left like a little bump on there.
Okay.
And I even told my pastor, I don't know what to do. I think I should just turn myself in, or should I just get a lawyer? And the pastor's like, look, God's not going to use you in there. You know what I mean? Just pay the lawyer and you're good. So we paid the lawyer. And we ended up getting a little misdemeanor removed.
That was done with.
Yeah, I was a Christian on the run.
Yeah. Work in progress, like you said.
I'm not in the run no more.
Oye, carnal, for people that want to follow you guys on social media, how can they find you?
Just Google me, Freddy Honda Ramirez.
Así mero.
Just Google. And I come out everywhere, bro. We've even, like, somebody even looked up who's Freddy Honda's wife.
Really?
Yeah. It says there, and she's like, I wonder who searched that up. Her.
No, está bien. Pues we want to invite everybody to check out all your content, and definitely anybody who's out there who feels that they need, a helping hand or maybe some advice.
Our videos are just to put a smile on people's faces. You know, you're having a bad day. Our videos are going to make you smile. But at the end of the day, even though not all our videos show, like, how is this video Christian? It doesn't have to be a Christian video. You know, you put your stuff out there, and then once you already have your followers, that's when you start. Little by little, you know, hey, have you heard of the love of God? Hey, have you known that our relationship's like this because of God? Hey, do you know that I get all these clients because of God? Because all this time, I used to see clients coming in as money. Now I see it as somebody else I can talk to. You know, because everybody goes in there, bro, with problems. You know. And another seed planted, and that makes us happy, bro. Like super excited.
That fills you.
Yeah, when somebody really listens and they're like, "Bro, like I really needed this." Like it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And a tip, right? Those are good too.
That's awesome, man. Hey, well, I would really want to thank you guys for making time to come and join us and share a little bit of your testimony. Before I do let you go, I do want to ask you, anything with music coming up for you?
So, our band Popular Loner, like I said, we used to do a lot of secular music. We jumped to doing Christian music. I don't want to say Christian music. I want to say positive music. Because we would always say we have music that's positive, but it wasn't positive. It was just about beating up people and like hurting people and stuff, right? Doing drugs and stuff.
We're positive now. We're positive now.
Now we're actually shooting a music video this Sunday with Valdemar Garcia, First Class Cinema. He does our videos. Big shout out to Balde. Big shout out to Popular Loner.
Excellent.
Big shout out to
videos.
Troy. Yeah, bro. He does amazing, bro. Balde does amazing work. So we're going to be shooting a music video this Sunday for our song that we're going to be releasing this month.
All right. So you're actively releasing music.
Yeah, we're activists right now as Popular Loner. We just opened up for have you ever heard of a band called Ladrones? They do like banda music but with metal.
It's super
really?
cool.
Super cool, bro. Like a new genre. I had never heard of them before.
So cool.
They're not a Christian band, right? But they're super cool people, super humble. And we got the opportunity to open up for them. Right. And it was a non-Christian concert. It was like just a whole bunch of people like just ready to rock out. And here comes Freddy with his praise and worship team. And we went up there, bro, and we played
Freddy
some
and
Christian. We played some Christian songs, you know, me and my boy Troy. And it wasn't about Popular Loner that night. It was about God. And we played a couple of Christian songs that we made into like a rock version. So everybody was jamming out to them. And, bro, you didn't know how many people like after the show told me, bro, I needed that. Even though I came to rage out and come listen to metal music, I needed that.
Yeah.
So that's our mission, bro. We go and God still opens the doors, even not even just in Christian places, but out in the world, bro, where the real battlefields at.
Sometimes that's where they need it the most.
Yeah, bro. Going out there. So I respect everybody. Even that's why I love like Jehovah's Witness and like Mormons and stuff. Even though I don't agree with everything they say, right? But they go out there, bro. Yeah. My respects for them. You know, sometimes it's a no les abras. We're not here, but
especially on Sundays, man.
That's what we're supposed to do, bro. And spread the positive. Spread love. You don't want to spread Jesus, don't spread Jesus. But spread love, you know? Because that's what the world needs nowadays. The valley, bro. Because the valley just revolves around drama.
Yeah. For real.
Or like negativity or something that's negative is always going to circle around social media. Yeah.
Mucha envidia.
We need love, bro.
Definitely, man. Pues I want to thank you, Freddy. Jena, thank you so much for coming out and sharing your testimony and your story with everybody.
Thank you.
I want to invite everybody to follow you guys on social media. Follow your band. Your band is called again?
Popular Loner.
Popular Loner.
Me and Troy, yeah.
Yeah, check them out. I'm sure all your music's up on the platforms, right?
Yes.
Spotify.
We took down all our music that had bad words.
Okay.
And that's another step because a lot of people are like, hey, where's your songs or whatever? And I'm like, guys, we took them down. It's just we don't want to be hypocrites. You know what I'm saying?
That's not you guys anymore.
We have
and that's our testimony. I have videos where like we still have those videos, right? It's just I don't want to post them on social media to the point where like people are going to listen to them and jam out to them because that's not what we want.
Because there's things that were said there when they were lost and it's not something.
It's not you. It just doesn't represent you anymore.
Exactly.
Your values and your way of.
There was this one part that I used to say, I'm a lost soul. Jesus walked outside my door instead of coming inside my door. Yeah. And people would chant it, bro.
Wow.
You know
that
what
was
I mean?
like their favorite part.
And that was their favorite part.
Yeah.
And it was just, I would look back at the lyrics that I would sing and it was just, oh, I'd be praying, but ain't nobody gonna hear me. And like I used to say stuff like that, bro. And it was just so negative, you know?
Yeah.
So I have had a lot of people come up to me and they're like, hey, why don't you play those songs anymore? It's like, that's not who we are, bro.
Are you familiar with Control Machete?
Yeah.
From Mexico?
Yeah.
So you know who Fermin is, right?
Yeah, bro, that's my boy right there.
Yeah.
I've been in the studio with him. Believe it or not, in Brownsville. Yeah, with Fermin Cuatro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome, man. I've been following his career now after Control Machete, and he said exactly the same thing you did. You know, that he's gotten so many invitations to tour again with Control Machete, and he says, I can't. It's not a matter of money. It's not a matter of, you know,
it's who you are now.
It's you know, I just don't feel what I used to rap about.
Look at Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
Daddy Yankee, Bad Bunny wanted him to come out in the Super Bowl with him, and he said no.
Really?
Because that's not who
that's not who I am anymore. If we sing one of the songs that I'm playing now, yeah, I'm down. Hell yeah, I'm down to go to the Super Bowl. But I'm not going to go sing Gasolina. I'm not going to go sing all my older songs for what? That's not who I am anymore. Yeah. If I'm going to do a change, I'm going to do the change all the way. I'm not going to like have my foot over here and then, but I still like this over here. Nah, bro. You got to make a choice.
Yeah.
And that's everybody's downfall, bro. When
you're in or you're out.
You're in or you're out. You're in and you're out. And it's like, why isn't God helping me? Because you're in and you're out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta
make up your
make a choice. Yeah.
No, está bueno. Pues Freddy, thank you so much for coming out. Everybody who saw this episode, we want to thank you. We want to invite you to check us out on social media. Give us a like, give us a follow, and leave any suggestions for a future guest or any invitations you want to leave. I wish everybody a very beautiful morning and a beautiful evening. Bye-bye.
Later, guys.